All right, let's talk about this thing called the 5-number summary and what it means. When we work with data or statistics, one of the things we can do is put together this 5-number summary. And here's what the 5 numbers are in our 5-number summary. They're the minimum, the maximum, the median, Q1 and Q3. Don't worry if some of those terms don't make sense or aren't familiar to you. We'll go through and explain them. Here is some data. It's just simply some ages of kids who are in a local park. We've recorded their ages. First thing I want to do is I want to put them in order from lowest to highest, because that's going to help me work out some of these things we're going for on our 5-number summary. And when I do that, it's pretty easy to see my minimum and my maximum, which are the first 2 numbers on my list. My minimum, which is the lowest score in my data, I can see it's got a minimum of 2. And at the other end, the maximum, I've got a maximum of 12. So there you go. We've already knocked off 2 out of the 5 of our 5-number summary. There's a thing called a range, which is not on our list here, but while we're here, let's quickly talk about it. The range of our data is just simply how far is it, or it's a measure of spread from the highest to the lowest. So if I take the maximum and I subtract the minimum, in this case, I've got 12, take away 2, there's a range of 10. In other words, there's a difference of 10 between my highest and my lowest score. We'll throw that one in for free. What about the median, which is the next one on our list? The median is simply the score that's right in the middle. And now that we've put them in order, that's easy for us to find. I've got 13 scores in my data. So the middle one is going to be the 7th, right? So it's this one here. I've got 6 on the bottom side of it and 6 on the top side. Because there's 13, the one that's right in the middle is the 7th score. So in this case, I've got a median of 5, or the middle score is 5. Now, what are these things, Q1 and Q3? Well, they're kind of like the median of the bottom half and the median of the top half. So let's have a look. I've split my data now. I take out the median score, and I've got 6 scores left beneath it, the bottom half of my score. I'm going to split that in half. So basically, I'm taking a quarter. That's the first quartile. I've split my data in half, then I've split it in half again. So really, I'm saying there's a quarter of the scores here, then a quarter here. So in between those, in other words, the median of the bottom half of data is my Q1, or my first quartile. Now I can look at that and see it's actually sitting between 3 and 4, because I've got 6 scores. There isn't an actual middle. So I need to take the number that's halfway between those. So I'm going to add the 3 and the 4, divide it by 2, because I'm basically halving that, and I get a Q1 value of 3.5, which I can put up here on my list. I'm going to repeat the exact same process, but this time we're going to do it with the top half, okay, the top 6 scores. And I'm going to split them in half. I can see that Q3 sits in the middle of these 2 scores here. So I'm going to add them together and halve them to find the number that's halfway between them. Gives me a Q3 value of 6.5. And you can see I've split this up into quarters now. There's the first quarter of scores. There's the next quarter, which takes me up to the median. The next quarter, the next quarter. So we call them quartiles. Finally, there's this thing called the interquartile range. And all that is it's kind of like the same thing we did for the range, except instead of using the top and bottom, we use Q3 and Q1. So my interquartile range is simply Q3 take away Q1. And if I have a look here, Q3 was 6.5 minus my Q1, which was 3.5, gives me an interquartile range of 3. So there's my 5-number summary, and we've talked a little bit about range and interquartile range, which we can work out once we've got a Q3 and a Q1 value. So my interquartile range is 3. That's it. That's your intro to the 5-number summary.